Snorkel, please be snorkeling.
What's up, guys? So let me try to set the stage for y'all. So picture this. It's 2009. Barack Obama has just been sworn into the office. The global recession has peaked. Swine flu is sweeping the nation. Michael Jackson has died. And one off-road manufacturer has just created the world's first factory mud-ready ATV. So yes, all the XMR and Hollister boys do have this manufacturer to thank for jump-starting this segment of the ATV industry. And if you're seeing this video, we bought one.
2-hour road trip ahead. We're going to get a four-wheeler. Interstate ever going through Tuscaloosa. Right over there is where we traded the boggers for the toolbox and the other setup that we in return the next week traded for the Honda 300. You go straight from interstate to 500 red lights, stop and go traffic, straight off the freaking road. 3-lane? Very odd. We got 41 minutes left. What do you do in the event that you put your bass boat in the water and forget to put the plug in and then realize that you're taking on water?
Go really fast.
Oh!
I'm proud of you, you know that.
Swamp / creek number 85 in the last couple of miles that I've seen that would be absolutely glorious to ride in. Wish we could bring this thing down and dump her off in there. We are 1 minute away and we got a Chevy SS right there. Look at the freaking tailgate. What is it? That was Jack Sparrow. I got a good feeling about this now, for sure. Any guesses?
I think it will be red.
Red?
And white.
Okay.
It's gonna be yellow.
Okay.
Why do I feel like it's gonna be yellow?
It's not yellow. It's not red. It's not white.
Blue? Is it both or black?
He said it's both.
Pink.
Pink? I don't think they make a pink one. I mean, I guess it could be aftermarket. All right, there's a red Dodge. It's behind the red Dodge. Final guesses. We're here.
Red and white.
Holy crap.
White.
There she is. Green. Alright guys, well we're on the test drive right now. I'm sure y'all already seen all the B-roll and everything. She's a little beat, but how freaking sick is this thing? I am so incredibly stoked. Someone done stole the freaking winch off of it. She gonna need some TLC. There ain't no doubt about that. But I remember reading magazines about this thing.
As the first true purpose-built mud runner, Cat's offering was hard to mistake.
It's just the coolest thing ever, but she definitely is she's needing some love. She's got some leaky stuff. You know what? We're buying it.
And scammer gets scammed, buddy.
I've driven way too freaking far today, and I'm too freaking excited. Listen to that. All you heard was the freaking engine about to explode, but that's fine. We're gonna go make a deal and get back on the road.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
Alright, first thoughts and opinions on the RT Cat Mud Pro.
I'm looking at those things for his.
It's got little grenade valve stems and Lauren and Knox are very much obsessed with it.
$5.99.
If we bust the back glass out of Chomper on the way home, I'm gonna be a little upset, not gonna lie. P-brake number 2. What do you got to say for yourself? You got the tiniest bladder. Oh, dude, I totally forgot this thing's got that light bar with the American flag. I bet it has been leaned back because we've been running like 80. I bet that thing been touching the freaking back rack. Give her a rating, dude, 1 to 10.
120,000.
Okay, if I told you there was like 112 things wrong with it, did that change it any? No, okay, good, me neither. I bet you that right there is the outcome of old Granny on July 1st today, making all the CC absolutely as illegal as crap. That's sunset. They probably going to jail for real. I totally missed it, but Chomper just hit 170,000 miles. I think we hit 169,000 miles when we went to pick up the Brute. Appreciate it. Plug her in. What the heck? I also pulled the seat off for the first time, and there's no latch, and there's a whole lot of wires that didn't come stock on this thing. I'll catch up with y'all tomorrow. We'll get this thing unloaded. Go for our first ride. It's probably pretty safe to say that we've officially gone four-wheeler crazy. Holy crap. Look at this fleet right now, boys. We got the Brute, we got the Cat, we got the 300, Lauren's Kodiak back there, Knox's X Pro. This is just genuinely insane, and I'm just absolutely loving it. Could not be more thankful, and it's all thanks to you guys for supporting the channel. So shout out to y'all, and if you continue to like the videos and all the four-wheeler content like y'all have been, there's going to be a whole lot more of it, I promise. There's a ton more old four-wheelers that I would love to experience owning, as well as several new ones, man. I mean, Knox's four-wheeler looks like a Renegade. I would freaking love to experience a Renegade. Maybe one day. We'll see. As of right now, it's just fun with the cheap stuff, which we are kind of spiraling down a bad rabbit hole where we bought a nice, pretty expensive, newer four-wheeler, the Brute Force. Love it. Then we dabbled with the trade on the 300. Relatively clapped out.
Hey, yo, what the f?
And then we just got this thing, which is borderline totaled. It's actually not. It's not totaled, but gosh, dog, it's freaking clapped, y'all. It's clapped. We're not going to get into that in this video. That's going to be next video. We're going to tear this whole thing apart, really dive into all the things wrong and start fixing things. I really just don't want to damper the mood right now because I am hyped on actually owning this iconic four-wheeler, dude. This is so freaking cool. So the whole backstory, being the very first mud-ready four-wheeler ever. Who knows? You might not have your XMR or your Highlifter to this day if this did not come out. You probably would, but this definitely started a whole thing, which it's kind of sad that Arctic Cat has fallen away for the most part. There is actually a new Mud Pro from Arctic Cat, but it's only a 500, and it's pretty weird. It does look kind of cool. That's kind of always been Arctic Cat's downfall, is they just don't make great looking four-wheelers. I think this is honestly my favorite one that they have ever made. It just looks really cool. It's kind of cat eye-ish, different, but I mean, it's freaking cool, okay? These came out in 2009 as the 700 Mud Pro, and then they did actually have the very first 1,000 cc's, first ever. I would love to experience one of those as well, but they're probably all blown up and sunk, just like most of these, because anything that is made from the factory to go in mud, most people usually use and abuse that, and that is definitely the case here, because gosh, dang, this thing has been run hard and hung up wet for sure, but I am still very excited. So anyways, no more bad talk. Let's talk about the awesome. Obviously, it's got insane brush guard racks, just super freaking mean looking. It did come with a winch. Obviously, at some point, somebody took this one and the switch and everything, which definitely sucks because I need a winch in case I get that stuck. Then I can get this and we'll probably put a winch on that so I can go solo riding anyways. But obviously, the racks were there for this package. The paint scheme with the Mud Pro and everything, super freaking cool. You could get it in multiple different colors, orange, this green, some black, bunch of different stuff. Looks super freaking cool. The snorkel, which is the biggest thing, obviously, has a factory snorkel. So the engine intake as well as the transmission intake and exhaust, they all lead up to here. Have no clue where the vent lines go. Haven't seen. Probably up top here somewhere. We'll
address all of that because some of them probably are not working. I actually know the front diff. I'm not talking about the bad stuff. Okay, awesome. Very weird. My first four-wheeler with one handbrake. This actually has a factory gear reduction for the Mud Pros. So kind of like the High Lifter, not gonna have a lot of top speed, but you're gonna have really good pulling power down low, real good gearing for larger tires, which this did come stock with 28-inch Zillas, and now it has 27-inch Maxxis, these buckshots. Does have aftermarket 14-inch wheels, which is really cool because I am super stoked for the XXs to drop. I want to get those for the Brute to experience that, and then we'll put the old Outlaw 2s on here, which it should clear no issue. Speaking of clearing, the Brute has a 2-inch lift with the front shocks cranked 2 clicks with 29.5-inch tires. And as far as I'm aware, this is stock with 27-inch tall tires. It's way taller. And yes, I do have the bucket for the bucket check. Is she valid? A freaking course she is, dude. That is insane. Those are 27s. I think this is stock suspension, which obviously is for the Mud Pro, but dude, it's just freaking huge. It is absolutely massive as far as the ground clearance. Look at the racks. It's 27s. This thing's gonna be huge on some big tires. So that's obviously part of the Mud Pro as well. Super sick. This actual Arctic Cat seat, which is very cool to me for the double up experience. I can't remember what the rack system was, but they had some kind of their own proprietary rack system here. They just knew you were gonna be freaking bumper carring in this thing for sure, because it's just, that's so freaking thick. That is insane. That's absolutely ridiculous. As smart as it probably is to spend the money up front and get something much nicer and newer and not have to fix anything immediately after getting it, and probably having better longevity in general because of less owners and less abuse, there's just something that I really enjoy about getting these old four-wheelers that have been unfortunately used and abused and trying to bring them back to life, especially two like this, absolutely iconic pieces of history, the 300 and a Mud Pro. Dude, we've spent 2 days and one video on this thing, and it made a complete 180 from send it to the scrapyard to, at first glance, that thing looked pretty freaking good. Now, it's got a long ways to go for sure to get it to where we want it, but dude, major, major progress, which I am definitely hoping is going to be the case right here as well. It's going to be a sketchy ride, but I'm ready to see what this thing can do.
Questionable right there. Dude, this freaking four-wheeler is so incredibly sketchy. Well, I don't think there's a single bushings held together correctly. All right, boys, I am telling y'all right now, there is a very good chance that we get this thing extremely stuck. We've had quite the dry spell since all the rain, and so the mud hole is it's looking very, very dry. This thing has insane brakes. Holy crap. We're gonna see what she can do. We'll start in two-wheel. Don't expect much with these tires, but we're gonna see what she'll do. Oh, I should probably put it in low, right? Why have I got it in high? Okay. It's pushing so much mud. That ain't gonna do it. All right, let's test her four-wheel. Went right in. Oh, we're digging. She's going. We do have diff lock. Don't even think we're gonna need it. Snorkel, please be snorkeling. Let's freaking go! Oh, that's freaking hilarious. Now low is too low, but high is kind of crying. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Okay, okay. Okay. Dude, she was floating the front for a second there.
Definitely drop a comment of anything that I need to address that you know right out front that these things are notorious for. I already have a list of my own, but maybe you'll name something that I'm not familiar with, and let me know what y'all want to do with this thing. Do we just clean it up and sell it? Do we keep her for the long haul, throw some big tires on and just send her through whatever? And
You know, after, of course, fixing everything currently and, you know, making sure she's airtight and all that kind of stuff. Let me know, okay? Let me know. It's up to y'all. We'll see. I think it's going to be a fun project to actually fulfill out, just like the brute force. And, you know, maybe when we get this thing properly safe, Lauren can take this, I can take the brute force, and we'll go to some parks. I think that'd be freaking awesome. Well, now that it's gotten dark, I figured we had to do a quick light tutorial of the rock lights and the stick. Honestly, both of them are super freaking bright, and I can't even lie. At first, I was like, yeah, I'm definitely ripping all that bull crap off, but after seeing it now in person, it is kind of cool. So y'all let me know, should we leave it on there or should we take it off? I've never been a big fan of RGB stuff, and honestly, I don't even care about rock lights. I'm more of a pure white wheel light kind of guy, but the stick I did like from the beginning. It's kind of cool, got the American flag, it color changes and everything. But the rock lights, I was like, yeah, we taking them off. But I don't know, now that we got them in the shop, they're kind of cool. We do have 2 remotes, which is extremely annoying, but we'll put her in auto mode and just let it cycle around. It does some cool stuff, and it's kind of a vibe, so I might just have to leave her on there. It's definitely cool here in the shop. We need a daggum speaker. We need power. Whole different conversation. They're probably super cheapo Amazon specials, but got 1 in each fender, which, of course, just put a bolt, 2 bolts straight through the fender, because why wouldn't you? The stick back there, it's just mounted onto the little rack system, which is totally fine, and you basically just unplug them to turn them off. It's probably going to be a freaking rat nest, fire hazard, electrical issue waiting to happen underneath that seat. I have not fully dove into it. We're going to do that in the next video. Of course, we got the bucket there, flexing the height. Sorry, Brute. But yeah, there it is. Honestly, it looks kind of cool. The headlights are kind of showing through. I don't know. Y'all let me know. It's kind of cool in here. Keep them or chunk them.